He just crouches, looks backwards.
Ooh. Oh damn! He's all.
See, here's the thing. It's not. Here's the thing. It's not visual. He's not watching. He's listening.
Oh fuck.
Oh, I totally forgot. That's right. Scouts get that. I'm not joking. Scouts get that.
Dog!
Christ.
I told you, scouts are
Dog,
the most
I wanna be a
overpowered CR one
sidekick
half
with the
creature there
shit.
is. Like straight up. Like they just did so much shit. Wait, he just crouches.
How long does this last? That lasts 10 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
it's done.
Oh,
Airmare Minitex would get out. Come on, boy. Present the information.
I don't like this.
They're not giving chase. Yeah. Also, did Sonya? Oh, I didn't put her in repeat on, didn't I? I was like, why is it so silent all of a sudden? Sonya, play Little John.
Hey gosh, while you're doing that, can I use the healer's kit to like give hit die, or is it just to stabilize people?
By the rules of Raw, it's just stabilize. I always think that's underpowered as fuck. I'll give you the old Varric rules of giving 1 free hit die.
Don't you need a feat for that or something?
You do,
Yeah, I
but
think that's a medic
no,
feat, yeah.
no, it's never worth it.
Right.
Yeah, this is a 3-shot. I'm not trying to think about it too much, but yeah, you can give a free hit die.
I give John.
Whoa.
Actually, roll medicine first. Let's roll medicine
Sure.
first.
We're on pace to finish this in like an hour.
Ah, God, that's garbage.
Yep, that was the pre-boss. Now we.
Oh, I'm giving you. I'll guidance you. I have guidance.
I mean,
Never mind.
I don't think a D4 is gonna save that. I don't think a D4 will save
I
that.
mean, like, it, at best be a double-digit number. Yeah,
They can
he uses a bit too
roll
much
their.
alcohol.
They could roll their con mod, or they could have their con mod rather healed,
Okay.
not a hit die in con mod.
John gets a con mod.
What's
Are we
John's
taking
con?
a short rest, or what's going on? with
My con
short rest?
is +3.
So you heal 3
Okay.
without magic whip.
Well,
I
that's 10, so that'll do.
Ah, it's up to you guys. I don't hear them. They ain't giving chase.
Alright, do we need to rest a bit, or are we continuing on?
It's up to you.
Well, perhaps whatever was controlling them has lost interest, or learned to respect its betters.
Yeah. Beef, roll me your perception. Roll me your perception with advantage. This is a you thing. This is a you thing.
He smells dinner.
Oh! Oh, ho, ho.
Advantage.
Hello.
Yeah, you're looking at the wolves like, yeah, it's gonna be a nice hearty mint. These aren't hearty at all. They're lean. Lean cuts. No fat on them.
Whatever. I'll make a meal
skinny.
of it. I mean, at least they have bones, right?
Yeah, they
I
got
can,
bones. You can make it
scrape
soup out of
them. Yeah, no, I mean, just scrape them open and I'll have a quick meal of the marrow. I mean, I guess I'll keep the intestines then if there's not that much on them.
Hearing all that.
Fine.
Are you saying this all out loud?
He's just muttering to himself like a cook's recipe list.
Yeah, he's saying all this out loud.
Yeah,
Just
just
looking
straight
on
up
in
jump
horror.
on top of the cloth. Just stay up here.
So yeah, you're
Thank
something.
you.
I had Patty's sheet open. I didn't real. Oh my fucking god.
I just straight up go up here to not see or smell or hear anything.
How do you drag my token out? 'Cause I'm disabled.
So you, I think this thing might be broken for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I just did it for you. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. Oh my, you're really going off of this wall.
That's like not a bad chocobo.
Why is John Doe so huge?
Yeah, these aren't scaled to like a
I mean,
grid.
They're not
it's-
small.
These aren't scaled to a grid. That's why. So normally,
Yeah.
if you did that, it would drop it to the size of a grid, but we don't have a grid on right now. So
It's also to fit my huge personality.
Oh god, the wolf.
Okay.
no, it's dead. Don't worry.
By like big X alpha mode only.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be wild if I just did this and it's just like there, off in the
No
background?
metagaming.
Yeah. Or that little figure in the bagrand is actually.
Yeah,
a
the fucker in the
monster.
back is gonna be attacked by a wolf. This is the real boss. The wolf is the boss. No. Yeah, let me drop Patty.
Someone drew a smiley face. Who the fuck drew a smiley face there?
Yeah, it's well noticed. It's never sneaky because it doesn't match the coloration. But yeah, Patty remarks that it's probably a few more hours. Probably more on the lines of 3, a couple to 3 hours more until you guys get to town.
Yeah, I'm taking a nap.
Yeah,
You
I'm
guys- you guys are free-
meditating to ignore all that.
Yeah, you guys are free to take a short rest if you're in the back of the wagon and such.
Oh, and I can't. Oh my, I'm being targeted because I'm not going to the back of the wagon.
Can I take a short rest
you're-
from up here?
Okay, it's a matter of like if you're not gonna keep your eye out of like your surroundings and stuff like that, so like you can't roll perception and take a short rest.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
then
not
you can
doing
take a short rest.
No, I'm meditating up here. I'm trying to ignore all that
Yeah.
slaughtering noise and smell and everything.
Oh, the smell. Oh,
Yeah.
that.
I mean, it's fresh. Like they were killed like less than like 15 minutes ago.
yeah,
Fresh.
but it's very irony, very metal. Oh, it's amazing.
I hate it. In
Uh,
game and out of game. Wolves in the carriage. It goes against my religion.
Why are there 2 emo twink boys on the cart? Got this guy?
I would say 2.
Got this guy?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there are.
you
One
have
of
a
each filling the
brother?
back. I
He
cast
multiplied.
simulation. Yeah.
Ah, Simulacrum, I see.
there you go. Yeah, I don't think you'd be in the back where the butchering's happening.
My alter ego loves meat.
Oh, of course. So loves beef. Gotcha.
Ah, so visiting the brothel first, I see.
So, yeah, it sounds like from the looks of it, a number of you are doing some hit dice healing. That's good. And yeah, so you guys continue on, trekking through the darkness. So, who is not taking a short rest?
I don't have time to rest. I'm working.
I'm not.
Touche.
Before the short rest, would it be okay if I do pass without a trace like this?
Oh yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Just to help all the horses.
Yeah. Yeah. So at a certain point, the trail of your wagons and the hoof prints of the horses just disappear. They stop. Just no more. So it looks pretty mysterious to anyone that's following. Like that goes down the road. It's like, hey, yeah, we're following the trail. Why did it just stop all of a sudden?
And then after the hour fades away, I'll take my short rest. So I'll be paying attention for an hour.
Okay. I do accelerate stuff like that. So short rest only goes from like 10 to 30 an hour at most. So it's fine. But yeah, to those of you not taking a short rest, roll me perception at disadvantage. Oh well, beef, you're butchering, so yeah, it makes sense why you rolled. Hear the sound of viscera fly around.
I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I will hone my senses and take on the aspect of the beast to get keen hearing and smell.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Or eyes and hearing, rather.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Sight and hearing. Okay, if that's the
So,
case, then just roll me
normal?
roll perception. Yeah, or perception straight. Oh,
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
the sound, your keen hearing just illuminates you. As the butcher from the butcher in the back.
Breaking off legs.
Yep. Snapping bones.
It's something. It's something.
Can I do like a nature check to see what kind of horrible diseases these things could have?
That'd be a medicine check, mate.
I'll take that. I'm better at that one.
Too many to list.
He just starts like listing every single one that can come to mind. It's just like, all right, then we got Lyme disease, we got this, we got that. You get ticks.
No. Oh, luckily, of all the things, Lyme disease is not one of them.
I don't know.
A terrible curse, Lyme disease.
Trichomoniasis
Wish
would be the most
upon-
likely.
Wouldn't wish it upon my most hated enemy. Well, maybe my most hated enemy, but
Alright,
most
I'm
other
back.
people.
Hi.
Otherwise,
Hello.
Honestly, the most realistic would be trichomoniasis.
What's that one?
yeah, trichomoniasis.
Rock joint.
Detect poison and disease.
Bear meat has trichinosis, usually. A lot of bear meat.
Yeah, he's just going through like fucking everything to describe it to beef while he's still butchering, just to try and be like.
I mean, most of it is neutralized if he cooks it, but you're just not confident that beef is going to cook it.
I'm leaning like 60-40, not in favor of cooking.
I say 80-20 personally.
Like, if we start a fire in the carriage, we're gonna have a lot of problems.
But we're gonna have cooked meat.
What else are torches for? Duh.
So you guys are continuing your travel. Again, I do accelerate short rests, so like 10, 30 minutes, an hour at most. I guess it really depends narratively. But yeah, like we'll say 25 minutes for this one, 30 minutes, whatever. 30 minutes pass. You guys finish taking a short rest. Beef is done butchering one of the wolves at this point. It's I won't talk about the smell, but yeah. And got another thing on the road. But not on the road, it's off the side of the road. It's a squint. Shrine of some sort.
I just look over, see what I can see from my vantage point.
It looks like a humanoid figure, like a wooden carved humanoid figure. Of only... The proportions are off, either on purpose or by the lack of craftsmanship on the crafter's behalf. That being said, the most significant feature about it is... Oh my gosh, yeah, the chocobo. Yeah, the most significant feature about it is where the head would be, or where it is, rather. It's like a smooth face, like a mannequin, and then perched on top of the smooth head facial structure is a skull, not a human skull. There's some sort of quadrupedal animal, like a stag, a deer, a goat. You're not 100% certain. Not at this distance, at least. You added the blood stains.
And it's now trailing out the back.
Yeah, that's what this guy's doing. He's just following you.
Ooh,
Do I recognize this as sort of some sort of religion or deity?
Roll religion.
Can I aid in that?
You can do your own roll.
Alright.
Because the roll already happened. What is this? Popcorn?
That's clouds.
Oh.
Man, you really are going the full Final Fantasy on this thing, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, Vidar, you know, you're a faithful person. that's the only way I can put it. You're a faithful person. Penny, you don't know the name of the exact religion, mostly because you're not even sure if it has a name, more so than like, yeah, it's a series of common practices that doesn't necessarily make it a religion. You know, it doesn't have like scripture or moral stories or anything like that. No, it's just a series of practices, a series of appeasements, essentially, and that's what this is. The shrine itself, it lacks any offerings at the moment, but you know, and other times, you know, travelers or nearby townsfolk would, or hunters, most specifically huntswomen, would leave offerings as appeasement, as gifts, maybe not gifts, as offerings, tribute, for one reason or another. Might be as simple as keep the road clear. Might be as complex as, you know, my wife cheated on me, so I need you to scorn not the man or woman that my wife cheated on, whatever, but rather their spouse, so it has this long-term repercussive effect. Yeah, it's that sort of deal. It's as simple or as complicated as you make it out to be when you give the offering. But there are no offerings here at the current moment. Just the icon, the idol, rather, itself.
Yeah, I poke my head in there and just say to Beef, might you lend me, like, a paw or something inedible?
Beef just raises his shoulders, chops off one of the untouched wolf's legs, and throws it over.
I catch it and just quickly jump down and just lay it as an offering, just murmuring, for safe travel.
What's your passive perception?
That's a 14.
What's everyone's passive perception?
Good old
21?
Oh.
Did you grab Prodigy, Fred? You must have.
No, Observant.
Fair.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Makes sense. between the sounds of butchery and viscera bouncing off the canvas canopy of this coach, the sounds of the spokes, the horses neighing, or in this case, the war ostrich chittering.
Cannon.
I don't know what war ostriches make. Also, fuck you. Yeah, Vidar. We'll give it a Maxon too. Yeah, we'll say the DC is 15. So Vidar, Maxon, DC, quote unquote. You guys do hear something as Penny lays this wolfen leg at the shrine, at the idol. Maxon, you interpret it as whispering. Just Vidar, on the other hand, you interpret it not as whispering, but as I guess that's a quote. It is whispering, I suppose, but not in like a general like conspiratorial sense. More in the sense of like a cocktail party. Like there's a bit of like merriment in it, laughing. It is there for only a few seconds before it stops.
Whatever you did, Penny, something is pretty happy about it.
I just do a little curtsy towards the figure and... Well, being the first offering, well, at least today, must make someone happy. And I waltz back towards the carriage. Hop on.
Oh, actually, Vidar, Max, what languages do you speak?
Let me just... I have a whole bunch of...
I forgot to add more than...
So...
Okay, well, you can have language as given by your race, as well as a number of other languages other than Celestial. We'll talk about that in the other campaign. Languages other than Celestial equal to your intelligence modifier.
Well, that would be 0.
Okay, well, so you just know...
you can have other languages?
Equal to your intelligence modifier?
Other languages other than Celestial equal to your intelligence modifier.
Oh, shoot. Let me go ahead and on here.
Well,
Yeah, I need some more.
I just know common and GIF is all what I know.
Fantastic.
You can speak...
The only one you need.
It's more of just throw on a posh accent, and that's enough to speak to Aramar.
Nevros a thing here?
Nevros is not culture or people in this setting.
All right.
This is not my setting. I also had to have an easier explanation for gods in this setting.
Yeah.
This is just a vague setting.
I threw all my languages into the chit chat.
I'll go common and draconic. There you go.
I'm just keeping my 2 languages. I can't be fucked with languages.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, neither of you recognize the language then.
Okay.
I mean, I have my wisdom is what? My int or wisdom?
Int.
So I have a 13. I have a +1. So anyways, it's just one.
So you'll be able to get 1 additional language.
Oh. Okay.
Along with whatever your background gives and whatever your race automatically.
All right, primordial.
Fantastic.
I know all the languages. I'm the avatar.
Okay, of course. You speak it to Earth. So yeah.
Speak of stool.
I'll do what? I'll do. What's another garbage race goblin?
Oh, you should take the one. I did.
Giant
Jesus,
eagle.
Lord have mercy. Giant eagle.
Giant
That's all
eagle.
So Mordor.
He would. That's how he speaks to the ostrich.
Yo, we're gonna
The
learn
most
bird lore,
noble of
whether you
beasts.
like it or not.
Do whatever you want, man.
They have their own language, man. What can I say?
As you guys pass by the shrine, Patty once again stops the wagon to sort of prostrates next to it, like taking a knee and doing his own little prayer, I suppose. He doesn't actually say anything, but you can tell from the way he's bowing his head and holding his hand to his face. It is a prayer.
Just keep eyes and ears out in case wolves come up.
More perception.
Sure.
Disadvantage.
Can I do the
Patty
same
gets
trick
up.
I did earlier?
If you're doing it towards the back, then sure. So you just roll straight.
Okay. Be-doop.
There is no wolves. Not that you see.
I believe there are no wolves in the nearby vicinity.
Well, I've prayed for a safe travel, so let's hope whatever is watching might appease us.
Patty looks the statue up and or the idol up and down. Should have prayed for delaying winter. Yeah, it's back on the wagon.
Nothing
Winter
can
wolves
delay
are an
winter.
uncommon thing around these parts. But it's weird to see one so early in the seasons.
Ah, is this one of your quaint little savage gods?
No god, I reckon.
Okay.
It's right to pay homage to whatever gods of the region.
Mr. Tax, if you need us to be respectful of your customs, as in your names, how about you be just as respectful towards us and not
Yes.
kind of savages?
I mean, I'm fine being a savage, personally. See what I wear.
Do you
Quite
find
rude.
offense in your own nature?
I find offense in your, well, spoken words.
Patty continues the coach ahead.
Penny.
Yes?
I also have thoughts against, putting dead corpses of big direwolves in carriages, but it feels like if I learned one thing throughout our travels is that we have to leave our offense and opinions at the door, because no one's going to listen to them.
I mean, you were quite vocal throughout the entire experience.
Yes,
And
we
yet,
can still.
look at us now.
Does
we're
not
still
mean we can.
there.
We can still object to certain things. Does not mean that it will change something. I will not hold my opinion back just because it will not shut his mouth. Simply as you do not hold your opinion back on, well, the butchering.
Well, I can't speak for halflings, but I know of few things more savage than man's inhumanity, man. So there's some truth to that, at least, far as humanity is concerned. Where I stand.
I mean, there's certain people of every race that are savage. It's nature versus nurture. But it still does not give someone the right to call a general direction of people savages just because they believe so. It's quite rude. I don't like it.
Save your breath, Penny. He looks at the hippo, man. He ain't changing his ways. Actions.
Quite right.
Actions and words. Give it time.
Well, maybe we'll make a decent impression on you at some point. And maybe you'll change your mind.
Spots are to leopards what arrogance is to hippos.
I do not understand this analogy.
You guys
That's
hear a
because you are a
noise.
savage.
In fact, it just played a little bit ago. You guys hear a noise, a growl, a roar off in the distance somewhere.
Behind
here,
or in front of us?
Yeah, let me play it again. I'll be real quiet now.
Hey, Vsauce Michael.
Hey, he's us, Michael. Something like that.
That does not sound pleasant.
No, I don't imagine it does. It sounds off in the distance, to the west, towards a mountain. Large base about.
Well, I think we go in the opposite direction.
Yes,
Like, oh,
shall we get
I
to
mean,
Shania?
we are going west eventually. That's how we get through the pass. So,
Let's hope we will miss it right by. Whatever that
Then
was.
Then we can meet it at the past.
So, do you have any possible idea what that creature could be?
who asked that to?
I'm asking it to O's character, then I'm not going to bother trying to say the name.
Is it
It
that
could
hard to
be.
say RMR Minithax?
It's a Saramar Minithax. What's so hard about Aramar Minithax?
Aramar Minithax.
See, there you go. It's right there.
You designed it specifically to be a tongue twister.
It's only 16 letters. Don't be dramatic.
writing.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
he hasn't even put apostrophe.
My savage tongue cannot handle that many letters at once.
Patty is the only one that'll be able to say it. Question.
That's true.
Ironic, because he's probably like he's amongst the uncouth side of you in terms
To
of
be fair,
appearance.
Max intelligence is -1, so he will just say sir.
Well, Penny's just refusing to say it until he
see,
stops
I
at
see.
it.
Way overcomplicate
But
things.
yeah,
Just call him Hippo Man.
Aramaraminax, you don't know what that is. Like, or rather, you don't know like there's too many things it could be. Like, reverb's weird.
Isn't it obvious? It's a proper challenge.
Oh god.
Gotta love it.
Well, if you want to fight that, then off you go. Hurry off.
Might want to hold on that. Patty points down the road a bit off to the right, about 15 degrees or so, up above the canopy. You can barely see through the canopy itself the light of a brazier some ways away. Getting closer to town. You guys also hear
Oh my god.
dong, dong, like temple bells, church bells.
Would it be a normal time for temple bells to ring?
If it was like some sort of like time-based one, maybe. You guys don't know what time it is, but the fact that they're ringing incessantly and there isn't like 36 hours in a day, probably not.
So it's an alarm one.
It could be an alarm. It means something's happening. Some commotion.
Is it like the bells they would do at like someone's funeral?
Well, ask the two quarks. Roll me your religion.
Sure, I could roll a thing. Oop.
I like to imagine if you live in a temple, you actually can hear tonal difference between the types of bells they would use, just because you're so used to it and educated.
I'm more of
Ten, I
a
don't think I do.
knowledge person.
Could I try as well,
I
since
like
I
secrets,
spent a
I
lot
like
of years in
people, I
a
like church.
medical monastic school?
Sorry, Fred. What was up?
I'm more of a knowledge domain type deal. I was thinking. That's more people, more secrets, more just less monastically inclined, shall we say?
Yeah, true, but we'll see. Roll religion
More of
nonetheless.
a-
Maybe you just
more
know
of
it
a-
through happenstance than education.
Could I roll as well, since I
of a
also have some, yeah, you know.
What's your background?
I technically spent a few years at a monastic school with a tinge of medical training there.
I'll let you roll at disadvantage.
Alright.
Does being an acolyte give me advantage?
Ah, fuck that, it's
Okay,
a
fair
7.
enough.
Don't care.
I'm adopted.
I'm adopted.
That means you must be from a temple, of course, you're right.
Clearly.
Yeah. It's not an alarm bell. You guys can tell that. Alarm bells have a certain, like, fast pace, like, fuck, pulling the rope as fast as possible. Yeah, it's not an alarm bell. I can tell you that for free. As for what the purpose of it is, a wedding, a funeral, lordly procession,
It's
You-
most likely
you don't
not
know.
an immediate threat.
Let's just keep an eye out while we were approaching. Don't want to be surprised anymore.
Well,
No.
where there's churches, there's always wine, and I could do with a cup.
Oh yes, that sounds good.
Specifically accurate.
get drunk on the sacramental wine.
Sounds like a party to me.
It would not be the first time.
Damn, there's no Jesus Christ in this setting. I was gonna make an eating flesh of Christ joke and involve beef in it somehow, but there's no Jesus Christ. Nonetheless, you guys continue, and you guys finally, after hours and probably almost a day, clear out past the tree line, going towards a little valley, which is precedes the mountain pass, the winding, twisting, snaking mountain pass. You do note that the mountain pass is blocked off, that you guys are on approach from the opposite side, so to speak. Bells are still ringing. Just trying to get that into a Christmas tune, but no Christmas songs came to mind. Yeah. Bells are ringing. And yeah, you do see not a large, definitely not like the whole town or whatever, but a decent procession of people outside the temple. And the temple is right on the main thoroughfare. It is right on the main road leading into, through, past, etc. town. as you guys get closer, just by how people are dressed and how their expressions are, you can tell it is a funeral, not a wedding.
I jump down and make myself a bit more presentable, not on the roof.
Yeah, fair enough. You guys have to actually stop the cart in front of the temple, just because there's just a little crowd congregated. That's the term. Congregated there. As you guys, are waiting, just sort of looking at this, seeing what's up. And some of you are honestly looking for taverns. Like, where should we stay?
Can I just walk up to someone that's mourning?
You go up to the closest man. He isn't mourning, but he is here. He looks very official.
Well, I say, good sir, where's a place to rest and get some food?
God damn it.
I will be happy to. I totally forgot this. You guys all have like some sort of emblem of Lord Davin, sort of there to prove that you're part of his entourage. Then that you're not just random people saying, "I work for Lord Davin, give me free shit." You guys have proof of such, and it is also a part of but apparent on the cart itself because he's the one that gave it to you. Makes sense, right? Yes, I'd be happy to. You're the adventurous, the one that Lord Davin had.
Yes.
The very same.
Get the adoration out now, quickly.
Adoration will be duly given, but I have a request. My apologies. Introductions first. I am Senior Chivas. Don't worry, I'll type it out.
Thank you.
Why can't this pen write? Okay. Senior Cheez-Its?
There's a Chivas.
Cheez-Its. Anyways.
See, notice how I'm not laughing and no one else laughed at that? There's my response to that. So yeah.
I find it funny, so I don't care.
Chivas. You might also know the more Latin version of saying it, or of reading it. Chivas. It means citizen.
Oh, so he's literally a senior citizen.
He is very old. He's about 60 or so.
Does he
I'm the alderman for this town.
Hey.
An alderman. What is that? Is that some sort of title?
It's the man in charge.
You might equate it to a town mayor, but my authority is derived solely for the benefit of the town and is not derived. It is independent of his lordship.
Well, Mr. Alderman here, what can we do you for?
You guys have clearly, he gestures at all of you, being here, your sheer existence, clearly successful adventuring hunters. Yes.
Indeed, even though we still haven't got to that tavern we mentioned.
In due time.
I believe there is a point to his message.
He gestures at the funeral going on behind him. A god has been killed in the heart of our town. Not by a man, but by a beast.
How could it go into the middle of town without being seen?
I don't know. And the god is not the first, though he's the closest. The heart of town. A number of other people have been killed. And that's only that we're aware of.
Ah, wonderful news.
Excuse my companion here. He has quite a loose tongue and does not think about his words. Might you have any clue on what this creature would be?
We don't.
When has this started occurring, to your best knowledge?
Repeat that?
When did it start happening? To the best of their knowledge of when these bodies started appearing.
The earliest one was last Friday. It is currently Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Last Friday. Stable boy, edge of town, named Jimothy.
Is that what passes for a name?
Meanwhile, Patty is sitting here with the name Patty.
Fantastic. Well,
I'm just blinking my eyes again. Same as
Do you have
usual.
his remains?
Just pinch
The
him
Coroner
out.
has him still, yes. They wanted
Perfect.
the burial was supposed to happen, but I paused it for the sake of examination.
Oh, could we perhaps participate in some ways? Get some
The funeral.
chance?
Well,
Well,
the observation.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were having the examination.
I have not conducted the examination, nor will I. I am not educated in such matters. You may talk to the coroner then.
Clearly.
Yes, that would be much
You
appreciated.
can
Would help
tell
us-
Alderman Chivas is just ignoring him and just talking at you.
would-
I mean,
would
you
help
know,
us-
Aramara Minitax like is a pretty good hype man, as long as you ignore the insulting comments.
that could potentially help us identify what sort of creature would attack
I would
the town,
very
or
much
maybe if there's
appreciate
even
it.
multiple ones.
I hope not. But nonetheless, your assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Pardon me, Alderman.
Yes.
What was the name of the boy?
Jimothy.
And of the guard,
Corey.
Corey.
So we got Jimothy and Corey. They're not the only ones. There were 3 others.
Wonderful.
I'm just gonna start typing their specs into here, so just that way it's super clear. So, 12, Jimothy. Time of death. That's Friday. Or by time of discovery, I suppose. Time of discovery. That's Friday. Following Jimothy was a dwarf, approximately 102. Name Finnick Charcoal. The term charcoal is it's a term you would give to an orphan, amongst other things. So like you either wouldn't have a last name or you'd have like such a really blank and generic last name, like charcoal.
Blank. Blank.
Yeah.
I'll be right back in a second.
What?
Let's see.
Blankenship.
I have a friend whose last name is Blankenship. So he's a stable boy.
So we
What a
got
poor
minor-
child. So
He
young.
interrupted my list. Delete. Next is an elf. Relatively young elf. Discovery. Sunday. Forager. Halfling.
Every day so far.
That's why, yes.
Wonderful.
Halflings go, they don't go by the human aging standard, right? Is that correct?
They are fully aged at 20 and live to 200 and mid 200s.
Yeah, I'd say they're a
Gotcha,
little
gotcha.
bit
So
older.
not to an elf, but better than a human. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Double check. I saw my notes right here, and I was like, "Is that right?" Veranza. Time of discovery. That's Monday. Shoot the time courier, and then the most recent one. Corey. So for the past 5 days, they've had a body discovered, or killed and then discovered, or something along those lines.
Have they been found in the morning after, perhaps died in the night?
That's how they were all found, yes. Whether or not
Then
they
we
perished in the night,
perhaps-
I don't know.
then we should be careful. You should order your people to, well, tighten down tonight and at home and be prepared that another one will be attacked.
No double planking hands, I've already done so.
But that's.
Good man, good man.
But how will we lure it out if it doesn't have anything to eat?
Well, how about you bit of prey then?
But us.
Preposterous! It would know better.
No, you're sure?
Nice to be so confident.
Well, Seems
If
like
you
it
wish
has
to get
been
to
scheduled.
the coroner and the graveyard,
Yes,
towards
we
the
should.
mountain, keep following the main thoroughfare on the left side. As for taverns, there is but the one.
No,
Same deal.
old man. There's no time for that anymore. The game is afoot.
Here there's a gift. Gifts are hunters by their staff walks in 5e. Like British imperialist
Oh, boy.
hunters.
Yup.
Ergo, the whole thing.
Yeah. Nonetheless, if you wish to drop your wagon off, there's a tavern, main thoroughfare. You'll see it very plain, very obvious. Left side of the road.
A good stable for the horses as well.
Yes.
Good, good. Well,
Now, don't you worry none. People are my kind of problem. We'll figure this out.
we'll see what we can do.
Not sure if I fear people in this equation.
It's always the people.
But thank you.
Or someone.
Is there any potential leads that people
None.
think?
Mm.
The most we have to go on are the gashes of claws upon each body.
Ooh, gosh, wonderful.
Decapitations.
Vicious.
Oh dear.
Fantastic.
Nothing like that beast we found earlier.
Oh yes.
Quite-
different
Yeah, the one
types
before
of
all
weapons
the,
and attacks.
That was also
Before the
beheaded.
wolves. It was,
Birds
yes.
and threads.
Could be that it was a few days, so it could be that it was, well, last me before poor Jimmy.
Oh, wonderful. That means we haven't missed it.
And
Chivas like sort of grimace, like bites his lip and just sort of cringes at the at little Jimmy comment.
Hmm.
Yes. If you need any assistance, feel free to come find me. I can at least help facilitate things.
Well, we'll see what we can do with the examinations first. Start with the
might be
coroner.
appreciated, Alderman.
Yes.
Will be a better.
Do you have any potions of healing? My devil friend over here isn't much of a fighter.
I do not myself, but you may try speaking with the town alchemist.
Wonderful.
I pat John in the back reassuringly. Like, it's okay.
Fine, I'll just...
Let's not trouble you for more time, Sir Alderman. Let's part ways for now. We'll see what we can do. We'll talk later.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh god.
The coroner, if you wish to know his name prior.
Yes.
Cyrus. Sure, I'll check
Wrong
that.
name.
Coroner. Cyrus.
Why is corner anyways? There you go. Thank you.
Right there. So yeah, you guys bid adieu. Adieu. I don't know how the rest of the song goes. To Alderman Senior Chivas, as opposed to his son Chivas Jr.
I just look back to the rest of the group. You're dismissed now. And shoo him away.
Oh, sure.
Patty just rolled his eyes. So anyway, about the tavern. Honestly, keep your eyes open about this town. I know the feel when I see it. Give it a few weeks. Problem ain't solved. There'll be lynch mobs, execution pyres, anarchy.
Yes.
Let's
Well,
hope it doesn't come
hopefully-
that far.
And let's hope we're far away from here if it does.
I do not know
Actually,
what
now
this
that I think
sounds-
about it, Patty looks like a bit off